Right now, the most expensive thing you own is doing nothing. It's sitting in the dark, not moving, not earning, just slowly turning your money into rust. You paid more for it than almost anything in your life. And it spends about 95% of that life completely still. Your car sucks. And the strangest part is that some ancient piece of your brain already knew and bought it anyway. Let me explain. You probably think of your car as freedom, a machine that takes you anywhere. But look at the actual numbers, and a different picture appears. The average car is parked around 95% of the time. 95. You bought a thing to move you, and it mostly just occupies space. And it's not sitting still for free. It loses value every single day. Drive a new car off the lot, and it can shed a fifth of its worth before you get home. In 5 years, most of that money is simply gone. Like, you didn't buy an asset. You bought a slow-motion fire that you have to insure. So here's the real question. If cars are this bad a deal, why do you want one so badly? Why does a shiny new one still make your heart beat faster? For that, we have to leave the parking lot and go back a very long way. Your brain was built for a world of small groups. In that world, survival and status ran on signals. You couldn't tell everyone how strong or capable you were. You had to show it. Biologists call this costly signaling. The idea comes from Amotz Zahavi, who studied why animals waste energy on displays that seem pointless. A peacock's tail is huge, heavy, and useless for flying. That's exactly the point. Only a truly healthy bird can afford to drag it around. The waste is the message. The tail says, look how much I can afford to throw away. Now look at the car in the driveway. Expensive, impractical, loud. It burns money to sit there and shine. You are dragging a peacock tail made of metal. The evolutionary psychologist Geoffrey Miller has written about exactly this. Much of what we buy, he argues, is not about the thing itself. It's a display aimed at signaling our fitness to potential mates and rivals. Researchers have even found that putting a man in a luxury car versus an ordinary one changes how attractive he expects to appear. The car is courtship. It's a mating call with a monthly payment, and the message is aimed at strangers. People at a red light you will never meet again. You are burning years of savings to impress an audience of ghosts in the next lane. But the trap goes deeper than vanity, because once you have a car, it starts to reshape your entire life around itself. Think about how much you actually work just to keep it moving. The payment, the fuel, the insurance, the repairs, the tires. Add it up honestly, and for many people, a huge chunk of their week is spent earning money for the machine that carries them to earn the money. You need the car to get to the job that mostly exists to pay for the car. Round and round. There's a thinker named Illich who tried to measure this honestly. He didn't just count the hours you spend driving. He counted the hours you spend working to pay for the driving. And when you fold it all together, the fuel, the payments, the repairs, the parking, the true speed of a car collapses. Divide the real distance you travel by all the time the car actually costs you, and for many people, it works out barely faster than a bicycle. Sit with that. All that noise, all that expense, all that steel, and the machine that sells you speed might be quietly stealing it. There's another cost, harder to see, because it's a cost in people. For most of human history, going somewhere meant passing others. You walked, you ran into neighbors, you lingered. The journey itself was where much of human contact happened. Now you seal yourself in a metal box, alone, and slide past everyone. No eye contact, no small talk, just glass and speed. We built a machine for freedom and mostly used it to be alone. Whole neighborhoods emptied of walkers. Because why walk when the box is right there? It gets stranger when you zoom out to the whole city. You might assume that building more roads fixes traffic. It feels obvious. More lanes, more space, less jam. But transport researchers have found the opposite again and again. It's called induced demand. Add lanes to a busy highway, and within a few years, the traffic swells to fill them. The road gets wider. The jam comes back. You didn't buy your way out of congestion. You just built a bigger room for it to live in. We paved over enormous parts of our cities to store and move these machines. Parking lots, wider streets, garages. In many places, the single biggest use of urban land is not homes or parks or shops. It's empty asphalt, waiting for cars that are parked 95% of the time. Think about what that land could have been. A park where your kids play, homes that people could afford, a cafe, a market, a place to simply be near other humans. Instead, we flattened it, painted white lines on it, and reserved it for parked metal. You were promised freedom. You got a landscape designed around storage. And the machine keeps asking for more lanes, more lots, more of your city surrendered to the thing that sits still 95% of the time. It is a strange kind of guest. You feed it, house it, insure it, and reshape your whole life to keep it comfortable. And in return, it mostly waits. And here's a piece of history almost nobody knows. There was a time when the street belonged to everyone. People walked across it wherever they liked. Children played in it. The road was shared space. Then cars arrived and they started killing people. And the public was furious. Cars were seen as dangerous machines invading human space. So the young car industry fought back. The historian, Peter Norton, has documented how, in the 1920s, car makers and clubs worked to flip the blame. They pushed a new idea, that streets were for cars and that people crossing them were the problem. They even helped popularize a mocking word for someone who crossed the road on foot, a jay, a country bumpkin too dumb to know the rules. Jaywalking, think about that. Walking across a street, something humans had done for all of history, was rebranded as a crime. And the criminal was you, on foot, not the 2-ton machine. The city was quietly redesigned, not around people, around cars, and your body is still paying for it. Because cars are genuinely dangerous, traffic is one of the leading causes of death for young people worldwide. You climb into a car with barely a thought, yet you might feel a jolt of fear on an airplane, or at the mention of a shark. The psychologist Daniel Kahneman described this glitch. Your brain judges risk by how easily a scary image comes to mind, not by the actual odds. A plane crash is vivid and rare. A car crash is common and forgettable. So you fear the wrong thing. You relax inside the real danger and panic inside the safe one. Now here's the twist you might not expect. Your car isn't bad because the engineers failed. In pure engineering terms, a modern car is a miracle. Thousands of parts working together, hurling you down a road in comfort. Your car sucks because it succeeds. It is superb at pressing 2 ancient buttons in your brain at once: status and freedom. Show the tribe how well you're doing. Go wherever you want, whenever you want. Those are 2 of the deepest cravings your ancestors ever had, and someone figured out how to sell both in a single machine, on credit. That's the real trap, not the car. The 2 prehistoric urges it hijacks so perfectly that you'll happily bury yourself in payments to feed them. So the next time you feel that pull toward the shinier model, notice what's really talking. It isn't the practical part of you doing the math. It's the peacock. It's the ape that wanted the tribe to see it thriving. It's a signal, screaming into a world of strangers who will forget you the moment the light turns green. You think you own your car, but look closer at the deal. It owns hours of your week that you spend earning its keep. It owns huge stretches of your city, paved flat and left empty for its convenience. It owns money you haven't even earned yet, promised away in advance. Right now, the most expensive thing you own is doing nothing. And somehow, it's still winning. Maybe the machine was never the problem. Maybe it just found the oldest wiring in you and pressed down hard